Levan answered some important questions. Questions like, was his wrist 100% in the Devin Larratt rematch? When is he planning to retire? Hello arm wrestling fans, let's discuss some of the interesting highlights from the recent Jerry Caderet and Levan Saginashvili interview. When asked by Engin about the condition of his wrist in the Devin rematch, Levan said that his wrist was not at its best. It was not 100%. When I try to remember what Levan was saying before the match, I think he said something similar. He may have mentioned that his wrist was somewhere around 90% of its best shape. And even Devin Larratt recognized that after the match ended. He was able to trouble Levan's wrist. Maybe he still can, even when Levan is at 100%. But for sure, Levan will be stronger than that in the upcoming match against Jerry Caderet. But despite that, Levan did say that his wrist is for sure better than the Devin match, but it may still not be the best that it has ever been. Levan is walking around 182 kilos, but he's planning on being about 176, 177 for the Jerry match for a couple of reasons. He wants to lose some water weight so that he can move more swiftly on the table on match day, and he loses that weight anyways. Like, he doesn't have to try really hard for that. He loses a couple of kilos or 3 kilos on the flight itself. In his preparation for this upcoming Jerry match, Levan lifted 115 kilos with single arm on the preacher bicep curl exercise, 155 kgs with both hands. I think he was talking about cheat curls, standing cheat curls, 260 kilos of bench press, which I think is very close to his PR. Then he did a lot of shoulder work, bicep work and side pressure work. So once again, Levan was saying that he's preparing for an inside game for this upcoming match. He's not going to risk trying to top roll Jerry Caderet. If you remember, I said in one of my previous videos, if Levan tries to change his strategy, if he tries to go inside a hook against Jerry, he's probably going to lose this match. And I'm saying that even now, after hearing that Levan has basically been preparing for an inside game against Jerry, still I'm saying that Levan will beat Jerry, but it will be with a top roll, not with an inside move. Levan has realistic goals for this upcoming match. I mean, for him, even winning 6-0 against everyone is also a realistic goal, but he thinks that the match may stop, so he's not just preparing for some flash pins, he's actually preparing for a war. Jerry, on the other hand, thinks somewhat different. He believes that if the match stops, Levan does not have a chance because Jerry's endurance is unmatched and he is going to bleed Levan out. Initially, Jerry was planning to be at least 150 kilos for this Levan match, but right now his body weight has settled at somewhere around 147 kilos, which is still not bad. Jerry is looking really lean, he's looking fit. And one of the reasons why his weight didn't increase that much is because he's doing some cardio. I mean, for arm wrestlers, walking is cardio, but still that is preventing him from gaining some more weight. And one thing is for sure, we are not going to hear any excuses from Jerry after the match, whether he wins or loses, because he set some goals for himself to prepare for this upcoming match and he's exceeding those goals already in the gym. I set goals and I am at or above where I expected to be. Jerry said that he has faced strong top rollers throughout his life, but Levan has never faced a deadly flop wrist presser like Jerry. That's why it is going to be difficult for him to adjust in that match. Then they both gave their predictions about the Ermes versus Michael Todd match. Levan said that Ermes has a good top roll and he has the transition to a press which will be required to defeat Michael Todd. He may not have his hand towards the end, but with his press, he will win that match. But Michael is also really surprising and he can surprise us in that match as well. Still, Ermes has more chances. Jerry said that he's rooting for the American guys always, so he will be rooting for Michael, but he wants a rematch against Ermes Gasparini, and that rematch will only happen if Ermes beats Michael. So maybe secretly Jerry will be rooting for Ermes in that match. Levan said that he thinks he's going to face Ermes in that rematch, and this time he will be better prepared. Last time he was not that serious, the health wasn't in the best condition, but this time he has learned from his mistakes and he will destroy Ermes Gasperini. Levan said that Ermes will not be coming to just get a pin or two just like the last time. This time he knows that he will be coming for the victory, but he is going to get destroyed. Why Levan cannot compete more than 1 or 2 times a year? This year he's already competing a couple of times, once against Devon and now against Jerry. So Levan gave 3 reasons for that. First of all, rarely competing drives some extra interest from the fans. So there's some kind of mystery involved around Levan, like how is he going to perform. People get more excited. If he starts competing, let's say 4 times a year, the fans may not look forward that much to Levan Saginashvili matches, and that's something that he doesn't want to happen. And the second reason was, he really has to prepare well for a match. He needs those 3-4 months to prepare because he has the crown. He is called the undisputed champion and he wants to retain that crown. So there's that sense of responsibility. And speaking about responsibilities, Levan said that he's not just an arm wrestler now, he's also an actor. So he has to fit that thing into his schedule as well. So arm wrestling for him more than 1 or at most 2 times a year may not be possible. But he still said that if somehow Engin comes up with a great opponent that is worthy of the title shot, he will be willing to arm wrestle more than that, provided his schedule allows for that. And finally, the big question, when is Levan going to retire? Or I should word it as, for how long he's planning to arm wrestle. And Levan gave a very realistic number. He said that he's planning to arm wrestle for about 9-10 more years, so until he's 45 years old, and I think that's realistic. So far we have seen that the Europeans cannot really go into the 40s and still be like top 5 or top 10 in the world. I think nobody has really done that. Gennady is 39, so he may be able to do that in the future, but not many arm wrestlers anyways. And I'm talking about the super heavyweights, not the lightweight guys, before somebody mentions Svetan Gashevsky or Engin Terzi. And the thing that he mentioned here is, if the health permits, then he will arm wrestle until 45. So maybe that's the ceiling. And if somebody was hoping for Levan Saginashvili to fall sick like Denis Siplenkov, I think the guy is pretty smart. Like, he's not putting too much load on his joints, at least not in the super matches, because he's winning them fairly easily. So the most amount of damage that he is going to do to himself is during the training. And he's kind of off season as well for many months in a year, so the PED usage also won't be that harsh on his body. I think Levan is in it for a very long time, unless he gets bored by arm wrestling. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.